Hello, ComicsGate. This is Midday Repartee. I am Rotten Glory, joined today by Scotland's best shit superhero and CG's best shit artist, Captain Fuckhead.
Evening.
Who, I have to say, was supposed to have the day off, and he was very professional. He let me know 2 weeks in advance, and I just blatantly forgot, sent him a link, and he showed up anyway, because that's just quality. That's just
Because I'm a
quality.
fucking superhero. That's why I have to come and save the fucking day every fucking time. Dave, get the link. In you come.
Yeah,
And Smiling, get in here.
Anybody,
Get in
come
here.
on in here. Hell to the chat. Smiling Bandito. Stephanie's in here. Dave's in here. Yeah, so, this has been, I suppose, Brian Christgau just showed up. How you doing, sir? This is a topic, of course, the whole Dynamite Cecil cover fiasco. Been basically a 24-hour news cycle. People have been talking a lot about this, but I thought, why the hell not? You almost have to,
It's funny. Like, so many people have so many different opinions on it. Like, it's a big blow for ComicsGate. They might go after Cecil on Indiegogo now. Dave.
Yo.
It's just a weird. I got a funny feeling they might go after Cecil on Indiegogo now because the SJW they've won a small battle. The small battles don't win wars. The only people this is going to hurt long term are Dynamite.
Yeah, I think Dynamite is in a real bad position. I honestly, my take is that this is going to help ComicsGate because a lot of people, most people are pretty flat out against censorship. I think while these mainstream news sites and SJWs are kind of touting their victory, what I don't think they understand is that it just looks like censorship to most people. And they're not, it's not, I think this is going to turn people on to ComicsGate because it's getting a spotlight. And while they think it looks good for them, I don't think that's the average person's perception of what has happened here.
Nope, I agree entirely.
Yeah.
I think Dynamite are going to... Look, Dynamite have already suffered. Billy Tucci's taken a hit on his cover, I believe. Or his, is it Miss Fury? No, Miss Fury. Miss Fury. I think he's taken a hit on that, and I'm sure that's through Dynamite as well.
Yeah, I think that last time I checked, it was down by about $4,000, something like that.
I mean, there you go. Like,
It could be. I mean, I didn't get a screen grab of it too early. This was about I can't remember what time it was yesterday. I took this grab, and then today about 30, 40 minutes ago. But yeah, I think it's more. I think he's lost a good $3,000 easily.
That's got
on the project, and vice versa. I caught this on EVS's stream, a screen grab, and now it's up at 182. So he's gained about $6,000 from this.
Wow!
And this is a campaign that has been stagnant for.
So Dynamite lost $8,000 on Cecil's cover. Flat out just lost 8. They just gave $8,000 away essentially.
Yeah.
They lost another 3. So they've lost almost $12,000.
Most
in
definitely.
2 campaigns in 48 hours, and Cecil's up by 6.
Yeah. And I guarantee you, the way, I don't know the exact ins and outs of the Dynamite deal, but I can assure you, like, Cecil's already made more money on the cash grab bump than he probably would have for the entire Vampirella thing, because he only gets a little piece of that pie.
Yep. I mean, that's insane. They talk about swings in sport, don't they? And that's almost a 20k swing.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to hurt. I don't care who you are. But even more if you're a comic book publisher, because they're all dying anyway. You've just taken a 20k swing.
Oh, no doubt. And
that is unbelievable.
That campaign just started. I have no doubt that with all the promotion and support it would have gotten, You know, I'm sure it would have got to 50K, if not 100, for Cecil's variant cover. You know, 50K seems very reasonable. Like, that it would have wound up at least in that range. So, yeah, it's a big hit. But the bigger hit is now Dynamite, they've lost both sides. They've lost respect from, you know, whatever. I had already kind of stopped. I wasn't really into backing Dynamite stuff already. That I backed EVS's first Vampirella crossover cover. I don't remember when that was. Do you guys remember when that happened? It was a while ago.
Was that the
Quite a
Vampirella
while.
cover?
Very first one. And then I was like, kind of got a better understanding of what that was. It just felt like a kind of moment, a thing that felt special. So, and then, you know, more of the variant covers started happening, and I haven't backed a Dynamite thing since then. And especially finding out that, you know, they're kind of, they have stuff going on that donates to stuff that I'm certainly not a fan of, don't support, BLM and Antifa, that kind of thing. So it just, you know, there wasn't, for me as a customer, I'd already made up my mind about Dynamite, but I still thought it was like, man, they're down to play ball with CG creators and take the heat for that. That's, you know, that's something.
You mentioned, yeah, I'm assuming you're talking, is it the Bale Project? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, somewhat like that. It's
The Humble Bundle thing.
Humble,
Are you talking
Humble
about
Bundle?
what the money
that sounds
that?
like that sounds like a porn site.
I know. I don't know. There was some. I think there was a campaign where the proceeds or part of the proceeds went to BLM or something. I'm not sure.
I think it's the Bale Project that you're talking about, where it tries to get people on low incomes bail, essentially.
Hmm.
I think that's what it might be.
Yeah, I'm
so
not, I can't speak to it I can't really speak to it because I don't know the ins
yeah,
and
no,
outs of it.
that's where I was going. I'd like to be careful about talking about that because the Dynamite, the people who are running Dynamite are donating this money from the campaigns. As far as they're concerned, they might be doing good work. Like it's not. If it is something along those lines, then it's not for Dynamite to tell those people what to do when they donate with the money that they've donated and who they can and can't help.
Yeah.
Position
you
for
know,
anyone
exactly.
to be in, and I don't think it's to be honest. I don't really think it's that relevant to what's going on at the moment because this is purely about weirdos winning a very small battle.
very diplomatic of you, Cap.
Well, it's if we go,
Man.
Mr. Miller.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
If we go down that road.
Yeah.
Of talking about that sort of stuff without really knowing what's going on, it leads to dangerous situations, even just in conversation.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily diplomatic, but I've already been a hero once today, and I don't need to be one again.
And Cap, if you have an obligation and you need to bounce out, just feel free to do so, man.
I will let you know as soon as I need to go,
All right. I appreciate it.
or I might
Sorry.
just disappear. I might just go. Poof.
Yeah, no, that's cool too. I guess the thing, you know, like I said, the Dynamite thing was already, I would rather give my money directly to CG creators. I'd already decided Dynamite wasn't really something I was going to put money into. And I don't think this hurts CG. I really don't. I think that it just proves the point. It proves once again that the moment you concede to these insane demands from people, people that don't have comics' best interest at heart at all, it leads to your destruction. I mean, it's so clear. And I think it's going to make CG fans. I don't think CG is losing fans out of this. I think they're gaining. It's going to gain fans.
Or
I
at
think
the
you're
very
right.
least, Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Scotsman.
I was just going to say, I think you're right. I think the situation does as little damage to ComicsGate as the picture I'm sharing with you right now, Rotten. I've just seen this on the Twitter. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the whole Dynamite thing, it's about as damaging as this silly cow's voice.
Right.
Like it's not really it's a big deal for Cecil, and people are going to make a big deal out of it outside of ComicsGate, but ComicsGate's just going to keep going and move on. Sorry, Ryan, carry on. I had to have that picture shared. That
So-
cows
No,
are
it's
repaid
just-
for cheese.
It's just that, like, I got to think about how good my cheese tastes now. It's like, I guess, I don't know, cheese is still pretty good, even if that is true. No, I'm really disappointed with Dynamite. And I hate to say that War Campaign was right in this particular regard, but they were right. And
yeah, I don't hate
was
to
really,
say it. I think they put out some good info on Dynamite and those things. I think the thing that I disagreed with was the idea that Dynamite owned Ethan Van Sciver.
Oh, I never believed that.
Which
That was,
I didn't accept then, and I don't accept now. And I think EVS has made it clear that that relationship is now severed.
well, the fact
And
that he came.
should he have
came
done
right
it
out.
sooner? Should he have maybe listened to some of the things War Campaign was putting out there, and like there was some writing on the wall? Maybe.
I think the problem was he was friends, wasn't he, with I can't remember the head of Dynamite.
Barrucci.
What's his name? Barrucci. That's it.
Yeah.
They were friends, like, and probably still are friends in general. So I think it was just a matter of him trusting that Barrucci would probably end up doing the right thing.
Well, and that's the thing, is that you can't enter into any relationship, business, friendship, relationship of any kind without at least throwing out trust. It's like, and every once in a while, you're just going to get dicked down. It's just going to happen. And this is a situation where CG gets a little ball slapped, which is unfortunate.
Well,
but I think you're also right. It's not going to hurt CG either. It's just going to solidify it.
I don't think so. And drawing aces, I do hear what you're saying. Dynamite CG, which I've never, I guess you could label it that. I never really thought that was a thing either, to be honest. But Dynamite CG sold out their most loyal fans and several creators to go mainstream. Then Nick sold them out in a day. But the thing is that CG creators were, they have to, not everyone can do $1 million campaign. And even if you do, it was work. And it was a company willing to associate with ComicsGate and pay them well, give them a piece of a pie where they could generate some substantial income for themselves. And for people like Art T. Bear and Dan Frega, that was substantial income.
I mean,
that was helpful income. So it's not like, I don't have a problem with that. And when Dynamite doing this, I don't think it reflects on ComicsGate. ComicsGate didn't bend the knee to SJWs. Dynamite did. It looks like censorship. It plays like censorship. And I think people are going to be like, wow, ComicsGate is the only thing that isn't bending the knee to this nonsense. And we're putting out exactly what we want. I think it wins for CG in the long run.
I think so, and I'm sorry I came in late, but I don't know if you guys discussed like what you think the impact would be on Dynamite itself, because as far as I can see, I think I just caught you talking some numbers, Rod, and it clearly has lost Dynamite some cash, but in the long run, I mean, their name is black no matter what they do. As soon as they start working with CG, it's like,
I can't believe that Barrucci didn't heed the warnings that I'm sure EVS was giving him, and I'm sure it could have just looked at the documented history of how this plays out. It's like, did he really think he was going to slip under the radar on this shit?
And EVS even himself pointed out in his phone conversation with them that he immediately felt like shit as soon as he made the decision. I think I'm paraphrasing here, but it was like something to the effect of, the hardest part of bending the knee is wondering if you have the strength to get back up again.
Yeah. And I don't. The thing too is that we don't know Nick Barrucci's or Dynamite's entire like what their financial like economic structure looks like. We don't know what players are involved that could literally destroy Dynamite if he doesn't make this decision. Now, will it ultimately still destroy Dynamite? I think it probably could, making this decision. But there are things that me maybe don't know about in how Dynamite is structured and who he relies on as an investor or whatever it may be. It could have instantly destroyed Dynamite if he didn't do this. So maybe he's hoping he can survive the storm. I don't necessarily think that they can, but I have to assume there are things and factors that we don't know about.
The problem is, it's like once you've bent the knee to these people, then they smell blood in the water. They come and they chop block your every knee, get you down on 2 knees, and at that point you're sucking their dick. And there's no way back from that. There isn't, because once they've got you where they want you, they will infest it, and they will just keep making it more and more woke, more and more left wing, more and more SJW. Just, and I don't personally see a way back for Dynamite after this, because like you said, they've alienated CG completely. The people that actually thought potentially Dynamite would work with CG. And I haven't kept up on. There was a few creators that they lost, but I don't know if they've decided to stick around after the knee bending. Or
they are exactly the reason why the knee is being bent.
Yeah. Yeah, drawing aces. Again, this is another thing. You're bringing up pretty complex issues. There may be truth in what you're saying, but I can't. I'm not involved with these particular things. I'm not those people. I wasn't involved in these things. So for me to try and even speak to them is kind of silly. But is there a possibility that Dynamite was complicating relationships and things between people in CG? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, when faced with this outcome, my understanding is that Ethan Van Sciver is saying, okay, I was willing to work with this up to a point. I was willing to deal with some shit and some fallout, but it's done now, and now we got to move forward. And you can't go in business with people that have, like he said on his stream, weak links, where they can be attacked. And I'm not talking about some sales on a single comic or a variant cover or losing some money here or there. I'm talking about Dynamite has business relationships and partners that they probably rely on to stay alive that were threatening probably to sever those ties, and they had to make this decision for pure survival. That's weakness. That's a weakness that can be exploited. And that's, I feel, what's happening.
Well, I've talked about ComicsGate before, and I think it's leading the way in terms of publishing industry. And this has been happening in the publishing industry for the past couple of years now. So there's been plenty of documented cases where authors, not necessarily new authors, probably quite well-known authors, have been either re-signed or moved publishing housings, etc., or have been dormant for so long, and then all of a sudden they've got a new book out. And then little fuds inside these publishing houses are saying, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to work with him or her. I don't want to. They hurt my fees. Don't let me work. I don't want to work with them. And what's been happening is the publishing houses have been going, I'm sorry, nobody wants to work with you. Bye-bye. But over the last 2 or 3 months, something's changed. Now these publishing houses have started checking employment law. And every time somebody says, I don't want to work with him, he hurts my fees, they've gone, well, that's refusal to follow out your fucking work. You're fired, bye.
Right. Are they doing that? That's
and you know what the change is
starting to happen. Yeah, it's starting to happen.
Yes.
COVID has been a blessing in disguise. It's as many as people died, like rest in peace, all of them and everything. But people are starting to, and businesses are starting to realize, wait, we need fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can't afford to have this shit where we get someone on board, like you said, a decent writer that's gonna sell, and not use him because a certain other
A runner
employee
is essentially
doesn't like
nothing
them.
more than a fucking little oik or a runner. Like,
Yeah.
Like it's
So-
fucking, it's bang out of order. You're absolutely bang on. And the other thing is that a lot of these people who work, particularly in the publishing industry, talk about things like COVID. The publishing industry as a whole are going to go very certain. Where I'm very certain that the publishing industry are going to go, wait a minute, we've still been doing stuff. We've still been completing our jobs. We've been still getting all this stuff. We don't need offices, do we? We don't need offices. We don't need electricity. We don't need to pay for heating. We don't need any of that stuff. We can save some more money, get some more books out.
A lot more homeworking.
So, yeah. So it's gonna change. It's gonna change a hell of a lot of things. But what's going to happen is those people who get found out at work are going to get found out and start working for McDonald's.
Which is good work if you can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that
Respectable.
fillet of fish. It's real good.
I love the
Double
fish
cheeseburger,
flavor. Is it filet?
McNuggets.
Yeah.
Fillet of fish. Yeah, it's like a little fish burger with
No,
like
no,
tartar
I love
sauce
it,
and
man.
cheese.
A little
good
extra
shit,
tartar
man.
sauce in that.
It's
Yeah,
not-
fries are
you
good
don't
too.
eat at McDonald's. The amount of people that I know who have said in the past couple of months, "Oh yes, fucking, I've been able to go out to McDonald's." It was rank.
Dude, I don't fast food. I'm still.
Yeah,
I'm always
don't.
a little stunned that people still go
I can't
course,
get
man.
my head
If
around
you
it.
eat fast food.
McDonald's is like that deep
Foul.
dank heroin that like you know it's bad for you and you just need to get that hit. You
Oh
just need
mate,
to
when you're
get
on a
it.
road downer, you just need it like just fucking a good cheeseburger.
If you
Just
want,
Oh man,
if you
there are
want-
so many. There are so many things that can fulfill that evil desire for a food that isn't fucking fast food, man. They're just.
How
many-
I'd rather hit a fucking taco truck. You know, like
you can buy.
give me
You
that
Oh,
shit any day of the week.
California Rod over here with his taco trucks.
You can go
We
to
don't have taco
Walmart.
trucks over here, man.
You can go to Walmart or you can go to Costco, Dave, if you wish, and you're in the UK. You can spend $20 on a fucking deep fat fryer. Just go and buy some fresh fish, batter it, put it in a bun. Like get
Yeah,
yourself a
there you
nice
go.
fucking brioche
Yeah,
bun. And
yeah.
So much better,
I do
dude.
that. I do
Dude,
that.
and then-
But if you're in your car, right, you're driving along. Oh, I'm hungry. It's McDonald's.
no,
there's
you
Burger
don't.
King,
You
there's
go past
KFC.
McDonald's because like the
You get the
likelihood is-
smell, the
The likelihood
smell,
is-
and you start drooling,
Oh,
and
The
then you're like,
likelihood
I need
is-
this shit.
The likelihood is you're not in a city. When you drive past McDonald's, you're driving past a shopping centre. You know, the big fucking the whatever they're fucking called these days. I guarantee you there's a fucking Sainsbury's, a Tesco, or an Asda there.
Yeah,
go and buy
I'll-
something nice. Go home and cook
Yeah,
it proper.
if it's around lunchtime, man, I'll generally like, all right, I need to get some groceries. What's near there? McDonald's, Burger King, cool. I'll have a McDonald's after I do my shopping. It's terrible. As you could tell, I eat quite a few takeaways, so I'm kind of an expert on these things.
Listen,
Oh,
Dave,
yeah,
you know
so-
the maneuver is what you got to do is you got to go to McDonald's and you get your fish fillet and their fresh baked chocolate chip cookies. Then you swing on over to Wendy's and get their triple cheese, and then you go to Arby's
man.
if you have one and get yourself some curly fries. And then you take that collection, and that's just in your mouth.
Nah, I'm not having it. I'm not having
I'm
it.
gonna.
I'm not having
We
it.
got to swing back. We got to swing back. Now, drawing
Yeah,
aces.
sorry.
Drawing
gonna
aces-
say-
no. It was a good little.
No, I
song.
blame Cap. He mentioned McDonald's, got me
Oh.
excited.
See,
Shut
you
up.
know,
Go and fetch Cappy's belt off your door.
Drawing Aces said CG bent the knee the moment they went mainstream. First of all, Dynamite, what are we talking here? Dynamite, what is their percentage of the comic book market? It's got to be minuscule. I'd almost say that ComicsGate in 2020 has generated more revenue than Dynamite. I could be wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say we're at least competing. Dynamite. I guess you know they're mainstream because they hire people from mainstream, but they're tiny. They're a tiny company.
Hey, look,
They're a tiny company.
I think what designates mainstream is the direct market. So if we say the direct market is mainstream, then Dynamite is technically mainstream. ComicsGate
Okay,
is
but
technically not.
Alterna also delivers to.
But there you go. But wasn't
LCSs? I mean, are they mainstream?
was not the whole point of CG to make CG the mainstream? wasn't that the goal?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if that, I don't know that that was the initial goal. This thing has evolved. It keeps evolving. It's always going to keep evolving. But I don't, saying CG bent the knee
I
the
have
moment they went mainstream, I don't even know what that.
Bent
We are
the knee
not
to who or
mainstream
what?
by any
I
stretch of the
don't.
imagination.
I don't buy that at all. I think anyone in CG, if you're part of CG, you're just an indie creator in the big grand scheme of things. You're just an indie creator. Any indie creator who gets an invitation to go and work and get paid by another publishing house, like why not? You're getting fucking paid. Who gives a shit? As long as you're working for a publishing house who you respect, who you have a bit of time for, who operate, and it's all down to the individual, who operate in a way that you are okay with, then why not?
Yeah.
Why can't you? Why can't you go and do that? I ain't got a
I
problem
don't
with that.
really, I don't know.
If the Beano rang me up tomorrow, I'd fucking run off immediately and go and do a bit of play about with the Beano.
But wasn't that one of the guiding principles of CG? The fact that like there shouldn't be these barriers to entry just because you believe in a certain political or have a certain thinking, that you shouldn't be stopped from working in a certain place. So in a way, I suppose it's like believing that Dynamite could possibly be that first place to open up to CG creators.
That's what it should have been. At least,
I don't.
I mean,
I think the moment we become unwilling to even give the opportunity to a company or someone to work with CG, like if we just say, okay, never again. Like, I don't know. I think that's a mistake too. So, was it inevitable that Dynamite was going to make this call? That this was going to be the end result? I don't know. There are some people that absolutely called it. War Campaign was absolutely like, this is not going to work. This is going to be bad. The shit's gonna hit the fan. It did. It absolutely did. So there you have it. But I
So
don't
less
think
than
that
48
means we
hours.
should just close the door on the possibility that companies are going to come around, that they're going to start seeing through this nonsense, that they're actually going to have the balls to stand up to these people finally and start making money with ComicsGate. Like,
well, and my question is, how much more money could they have gotten out of their licenses anyway? If the mainstream direct market comic book industry is going down, then the only thing that would be left, let's say that the direct market dies, the only thing that's left is crowdfunding. That's it. And any license that is out there that would like to make money in comics is going to have to deal with crowdfunders. So Dynamite, I think, just cut their noses off to spite their face accidentally.
Yeah.
I think it was probably a razor's edge. And from the way that EVS was describing it, he was terribly conflicted. I'd hate to be Nick Barrucci right now. I've done betrayal, and it's gut wrenching and it's horrible, and that's got to be how he's feeling right now.
oh yeah.
Oh, if you've not done
It's-
betrayal properly, if it's gut wrenching and horrible.
I just know that there's a lot more at play that we can't see here, that we're not going to be allowed to see what was going on behind the scenes. It certainly has a lot more than just this Cecil cover. It's not just about that. I'm sure Barrucci was facing an insurmountable something was about to be taken away from him that he knew he couldn't survive. So he made the call. I think it's ultimately going to lead to their demise because they've lost respect on both sides of the fence. SJWs weren't buying. They're not buying Dynamite comics anyway. We all know this. It wasn't for them. It never was. And now you just alienated the people that maybe would invest with you. That's gone. So you're done. It's more than likely done.
What would have
What are you
happened?
going to do?
What would have happened if Nick Barrucci went the exact opposite? Instead of the tweet saying that Cecil's cover is out and thank you very much, ma'am. What if he would have said, "We're all in, 100%." Hail CG.
Not a lot. He would have got slapped on the back of the arse, slapped on the back of the head by some SJW a couple of times, and that would have been it. They would have faded away in the background like they always fucking do.
and he would have been free of a lot of problematic employees. They love that
and
word.
I would posit that CG backing would be redoubled. It's clearly CG has at least deep enough pockets to fund a whole bunch of creators, and to have an entire publishing house on our side would have been fantastic. Like we have Alterna, of course. Alterna is 100% CG friendly, but to have Dynamite on top of that, Dynamite's a fantastic resource. Would have been.
Just think if he'd managed to put some of the if like Dave said, he would have lost several problematic employees. And he would have gained a lot more fans in CG, and he would have had a talent pool to fucking pick from. Imagine not just having the talent pool to pick from, but imagine if he'd picked some of the CG talent out to start working on Dynamite books. The quality of Dynamite books would have raised swiftly over fucking night. This is such a short-sighted mentality, just because somebody was banging on your door saying, "I'm not going to work for you anymore, Mr. Nick. I don't like you now. Go away."
I'm not really, again, Drawing Aces is really throwing down a lot of passionate ideas here, and I'm like, okay, Ethan and his crew sold out their customers to join up with a mainstream comic book company, bending the knee to clout. Is Dynamite for
when
someone
you say
like
sold out,
like EVS? I don't is working with Dynamite, is that clout? Does that give EVS clout? I kind of see it the other way around. Again, and I think others have said this, that Dynamite benefited more from working with CG than CG did working with Dynamite.
Yep.
I never saw Dynamite as a clout thing.
Dynamite's only level of clout would be the fact that they are well nested within the direct market, and they do have a number of high B list licenses that are. I guess it gives them some kind of legitimacy, and it's certainly they're certainly legitimate enough that this action was a ball slap on CG.
Yeah. Was it?
I like the sound effect.
I feel like it was a ball slap on people who don't have the constitution, the metal, to work with CG, even though it was financially beneficial, obviously, to do so.
I love it when an American uses the word constitution like that.
Who is it a ball slap to? I mean, CG was just putting out something fucking fun and cool. The Cecil cover was fun. I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen it, but this was a fun piece. This is a great image.
Didn't it get up to
fun.
10 grand as well before
it was
got,
already at 10K, and it hadn't even got started yet.
That was one day.
How is this when a company can't stand up to the pressures of this SJW movement, and for whatever reason, whether he got threats from things that he just couldn't, he didn't feel he could survive it, he made a decision. How that doesn't make CG look bad, it makes Dynamite look bad. And I guess some people are saying, well, CG should have known better.
I don't think they should have.
I think maybe there's some validity there, only in the sense that should have recognized that Dynamite had too many weak points, that it was inevitable that it was gonna cave eventually, and maybe that's true. I can't argue. I maybe can't argue with that point.
Could Barrucci make it right now? What would he have to do to make it right?
I don't think he can. I think that bridge is blown.
Even if he got on Twitter and he was like, "Never mind, I made a mistake."
No,
we're putting
it's the trust aspect.
You can put it back. Cool. Go on, Dave.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the trust aspect. It's problem is he's bent the knee once. So if people in CG starts trusting him again, what's the chances that he's going to do it again? Just on a whim because someone like, fuck knows, Gail Simone or something is pressured him again into doing it. That's the issue, is they won't have that trust. And it took enough trust as well. As you can see, like the whole Dynamite thing, it split CG as it was, with like War Campaign obviously completely against it, and then EVS's side of the CG obviously completely for it. Everyone, I think, well, obviously I can't speak for War Campaign, but everyone, as far as I'm aware, in CG overall wants it to grow, wants it to expand, and obviously take on the mainstream or destroy the mainstream, whichever way you look at it. But it's growing takes risks, and I think trying to align with Dynamite was a risk, and one try and better CG. It obviously hasn't worked out.
I don't think so. I think it just proves that CG is the only place you can be a badass, be free of censorship, do what the hell you want as a creator. It proves it once again that nobody else has the balls to do it except maybe Alterna. Alterna is doing it.
I don't think there was any real alignment with CG and Dynamite, if I'm honest. I think it was Dynamite were playing at trying to use creators they knew would make them revenue, and those creators were going, well, I only have to draw a fucking cover. Like, they're going to make a hell of a lot more from doing it for Dynamite in a campaign like. Yeah, it's a commission.
If I ponied up enough money, I'm sure I could commission EVS to do a cover for a project.
Yeah,
it's a matter of price, right? It's a price.
Yeah, and
point.
I do think that when it comes to Cecil, when it comes to obviously Donal, because Donal was doing it as well. How are you doing, Metz? And when it comes to
Metz. He was there for a while. Oh, shit.
When it comes to EVS, I don't think. I think they will be making more money through Dynamite because they will know they can charge Dynamite more, and that's it. That's all it is to them. It's a job, and it's only one fucking page. Like, it's a day and a half's work. Why not do it? Like, you're getting paid, so just do the job, take the money. You don't have to do it again. There was no alignment there. There's no I'm dancing. Tonight at the cabaret, I will be dancing with Dynamite Comics for the pleasure of everybody watching. No, it's not been like that. It was just a business arrangement.
Yeah.
Dynamite got a bit greedy. They decided, you know what, we're going to try and do a bit more. We'll get some more celebrities from ComicsGate to come in and do that. And they essentially all they've done is they've picked the wrong one, and now they're going to pay for it because no one else is going to do it again. If they come to any, I can't imagine anyone else in CG saying yes.
Well, and the thing is, I think a lot of people had already made as customers, as fans, had already made the decision about Dino, like not.
Can everyone hear me?
Not backing Dino. You know, a lot of customers had already made that call for themselves.
Hail everyone.
So, hey, Metz, what you got? How you
All
doing?
right, so here's the thing: is like I've been really looking into this and really trying to understand why the fuck would Nick Barrucci shoot himself in the testicles? Because that's exactly what happened.
Yep. Because
now it's like, not only do you have the ire of SJWs, but you also have the ire of CG. And here's what happened. Nick got greedy. I mean, not to say like, you know, he shouldn't want to chase that money, but he got greedy. EVS's covers did very well. He did multiple covers for Dynamite. That Star Wars girl got a cover, did very well. But then Nick was like, now what if I actually promoted this shit?
Right.
So then he sent out a mass email marketing for the Cecil cover. That's where he fucked up. That's where he fucked up, because now that the company is saying, hey, we will promote this, now people are like, well, if you're promoting it, then now we don't want it. In fact, now we're going to cancel you. So now Nick almost did like, you're in the car with Nick in the car that's called Dynamite, and instead of turning off into SJW land, he's trying to go over to Profit World. And there was a whiplash as soon as he hit the brakes on that email. Everyone got out of their stupor and realized they were headed towards Profitsville, and they bitched and bitched and bitched until he couldn't take it anymore. Everyone says, yeah, we're willing to fight. We're willing to stand up to these SJWs, especially us guys, especially me. Then you actually meet these crazy sons of bitches, daughters of assholes. Okay? Like, these people are fucking insane. These people will kill children. And I know I'm going like Doug, or what's his name? Doug Jones? Or who's the
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. I know I'm going Alex Jones here, but
He's a sexy man.
you go to these Black Lives Matter rallies and kids are getting shot, places are being lit on fire. These people are fucking nuts. I wouldn't stand in the same state as these people if I could.
Yeah.
Imagine a mob of these people coming after you. It's
Right.
insane. Now, I'm not trying to defend Nick, but I am saying that I understand like that temptation to go make it stop. I don't know how much I bid into this. Make it stop. No one told me this lobster's still alive and I didn't need to put rubber bands around his pincers. You know,
it's clear with everything going on with all of what you just talked about, BLM, and there's money behind it. There is a lot of dollar bills behind.
Yeah, there was a
these
lot of
things.
money behind
So
this.
you can't tell me like there are money people pulling strings behind the scenes. There are money people that may have their hooks in Dynamite that are sympathetic or support for whatever reason these bullshit movements, these communist, Marxist fucking movements.
What did he
So we don't know. We don't actually know all the financial shit that's going on behind the scenes. I do want to bring up Drawing Aces. You know, says we're talking about an old CG. That CG is dead. I don't think so, sir. I do not agree with that because
that
I'm in the
couldn't be further from the
trenches
truth.
every day, all the time. I work with people who are just trying to do the work, who are just trying to be a part of a network, lift each other up, make things happen for each other. And that is always been, that's what drew me to be a part of this thing. It's why I want to be here. And there are countless creators who are still doing exactly that. You say it's dead. I say look around. Look at the people doing the work just like always, man.
Here's
not
the thing.
dead.
If it was dead, all that money that Cecil raised on that cover would have vanished. Guess what? It got transferred to Cash Grab.
Yep.
Okay? That's pure and simple. If it were dead, that money would have vanished.
I gotta duck. I gotta go.
Right.
See you all
Thanks for
again,
dropping in,
gentlemen.
Captain.
Yep.
Appreciate
And
it.
Pleasure as always, Captain.
fuck off, Nick. You knob. Sort yourself out, because you mate, you're gonna have sharks biting on your dick for the next few years now, mate, and you're gonna have this is gonna be a long lasting decision that you're gonna have to deal with. Where all you really had to do was go, Cecil's great. Cecil is life. Cecil is love.
Yeah.
It's hot.
But I think you make a really good point, Matt. So like, you mentioned about the amount of bitching that all these SJWs and everything did, just on discovery of this Cecil cover. But can you imagine the amount that happened in private, straight towards Barrucci?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
just, absolutely. I can only imagine the amount of fucking shit he dealt with over this.
Not to mention
And-
all the people. Like, I think Wolverine brought up a good point. It was the licenses that really got to him. All the SJWs who control those licenses are now biting at his crotch in private. And all he wants it to do is stop. And I understand that. I understand the temptation to go, all right, make the pain end. But that's just it. We're in a culture war. All right? And when they want you to stop, you keep going. When they want you to move a certain way, you stay in place. Period. You do not cave to these psychopaths who are now, I guess, vying for pedophile rights. Are you kidding me? Have you seen this shit? These disgusting motherfuckers.
We've been warned that shit was coming for a while, and I've gotten to a point with, you can just see the progression of things, and I'm at a point where I'm like, yeah, I believe it. I believe they're gonna do it, and here we are.
Yeah.
They are doing it. They're trying to normalize the most despicable things you can imagine, and it seems like they're escalating. They're trying to speed up the process.
Yeah.
Their patience is gone. I don't know why. I don't know what the hurry is, but they're really pushing this shit harder than ever before.
Here's the deal. If you're a potential creator, if you think one day you're going to make something, you need to join our movement and you need to put an end to this. Because as long as they're in power, you will never be able to speak freely. You will never be able to make your dream property, ever.
At the
Pure
very
and
least, you
simple.
can't have big titties and ass.
You won't be
That's
able
right.
to have men either
I mean,
soon.
YouTube wouldn't even let Dan Praga have a little bit of ass titty, just a little.
No,
Nothing, just a little.
can't even show
Gone.
feet. Can't even show
Terminated.
feet.
Yeah, exactly. A
Hey,
little bit of
feet's a big
sand on
fetish,
a
man.
little bit of
Some
sand
people
on
like
that
that
big
shit.
toe, and it's gone.
Oh yeah.
Fucking over. I don't know, man. It's it's insane. I do honestly believe, and we've already started to see it with the way that money's transferring to cash grab. I think people are, especially people from the outside looking in at this situation. What the SJWs fail to realize is that most people aren't so involved, immersed in this culture war conflict. A lot of people are on the outside of it looking in. Okay,
Right.
they don't deal with it every day. They don't care that much. So when they see this story, all it's going to look like is straight up censorship. A company censoring something that doesn't even look like it should be sent. They're going to be like, what is this bullshit? Okay, now
Yeah.
I want to find out who Cecil is. Oh, Cecil's damn funny. I like this guy. He's cool.
Yeah.
What is ComicsGate? Oh shit. I think I like this group because they're not about censorship. They seem to have a good time. Maybe I can invest in ComicsGate. I think this is the progression of things that will happen. So these
Right.
people, they have no sense of what is actually going to be the result of all this. Which
And
is more ComicsGate fans.
and if I'm completely honest, I'm I'm reading chat, and Drawing Aces says I was one of the people who stood up for CG through it all, even when EVS quit the first time, but after he salted the earth and turned on not only customers but creator, that was when it died. Here's the thing, Drawing Aces. Nowhere did you mention how he came back and how he started promoting all creators basically in CG. You don't realize all of the things he's done since. And I couldn't disagree with you more. I'm trying to be respectful to you. But don't forget all of the things that he's done since coming back. Don't forget all of the things that he's built for us as creators to follow his example. Don't forget that. Because right now you're just shitting on him because he quit once. And you need to remember that he's a fucking human being. And everybody gets the temptation to stop fighting. Everybody does. And it's important that you keep fighting. So you take that I don't like Ethan shit out of here. Okay? Game got to recognize game. Recognize what he's done since he's come back. Now, I'm not trying to just slob all over EVS's dick. I'm just trying to say, be fucking grateful. Be fucking grateful, because he's built something for us to work with and to grow with as creators and as customers. Show some fucking respect for once in your goddamn life.
Damn, dude.
Sorry.
No,
I was passionate, man.
I love the
It's good.
passion, dude. And, unless you still believe Dynamite is CG, I never believed Dynamite was CG.
No, why would Dynamite be
believed
CG?
Dynamite was CG.
Why
I
would
believed
Dynamite be CG?
Dynamite was willing to work with CG.
They
How
were
was that
willing to make
making
money.
CG?
Yeah.
Billy Tucci is not ComicsGate. He's never said he was ComicsGate. But he's willing to work with ComicsGate. He'll have ComicsGate people on his live streams. He'll promote other CG books. He'll come on CG live streams himself. But he doesn't declare ComicsGate. Nobody's saying Dynamite was ComicsGate. It was just a company that was open to work with CG, and that's an opportunity
Yeah,
for creators to make some money, to fucking do some business, to get the name out there. It's,
not only that, but their years of experience in the business. I mean, EVS was talking about how Barrucci taught him how to make a proper comic book, how to put together comic cards, how to put together the toys, got him connected with all kinds of people. That's, that can't be underestimated how important that information is.
Yes.
Now it's in CG. Now Ethan's got it. Now it's going to be spread around.
Yeah, that was going for a friendship rather than a business deal, I think.
Yeah,
But
it was, but even for me, that it's that kind of information is not as important as it was to have just somebody related to the direct market that would actually do business with CG. The loss of that is unfortunate.
Okay,
Smiling Bandito says that Ethan said Dynamite was CG, wrote in on his chat. Again,
I'd love to address that.
Even if Ethan said Dynamite is CG, it doesn't mean I believe Dynamite was CG. It doesn't mean the customers, maybe if this is what was said, if this is what was actually said and it wasn't in some other context or whatever was the case, it doesn't mean that we all believe it. It doesn't mean that we accepted that.
I've said that Anna, that Star Wars girl, is CG. She never declared CG.
No, she's Fandom Menace.
People.
See, I never considered Anna CG, but she's CG friendly. She isn't afraid of it. She isn't afraid to be associated and connected with it, and she can stand up to the people giving her shit about it. That's respectable.
I got my
That's
opinions.
all it is.
People have their opinions on who's CG and who's not, and I would more closely refer to the behavior and the choices of the people more than whether or not they declared one hashtag or another. So Barrucci made his choice, and him by his choice, and then
And we need to remember that CG isn't just a label. It is a practice. It is a code of standards that people have when creating or when consuming media. All right. So and I'm going to say something super hot real quick.
Super hot.
Say what you will about Mike, about Doug, about Preston Poulter, about all those guys. Yeah, nobody likes them. But you know what? They're still CG. Even when they say they're not, they hate it, they're anti-CG, whatever. The fact that they're still walking in the same footsteps that we are, they're just going a different path. They're still CG, whether they like it or not. That's just how it is.
Yeah, you can't escape it, man.
You can't escape it. Once you agree that you need an independent voice to create, you need that freedom, guess what? You're CG. And I believe Dynamite is still CG, even though they had a moment of weakness.
They're going to be perceived as CG aligned no matter what they do, so it's pointless. So, yeah. Drawing Aces, how you doing?
Drawing Aces,
I was doing good, Yeah, I'm
Why
here. Can you hear me?
Are you you're suggesting you're not doing good now?
Well,
No, I'm just chilling in the chat, and then I hear this guy running his mouth, acting like I'm some sort of newbie, and I don't know what EVS has been up to. Maybe you might want to know.
Yeah, enlighten me.
Where I've been and how long I've been around here. You want to talk about all
How
the
do you
stuff
know
that
how
EVS
long
has done. I know
Mets
where
has been
EVS has
around?
done. That's a good question. I mean, because he seems to be ignoring some things that just happened.
Okay.
He talked about how EVS quit the first time and came back. Okay, cool. Everybody gets a free pass. I believe in the old Family Guy Spider-Man line. Everybody gets one. But
what was that original?
when he came back,
what was that original? Why was it? I remember when EVS got fed up with ComicsGate or something. I don't remember what it was specifically about. Do you remember?
yeah, it's after the debate, the Nick Ricada debate with Engelton.
I must have missed that. Shucks.
No, it's a good stream. You should check it out.
Razman says I've never considered Rot 10 part of CG, but he makes good streams. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I hope I can win. I can win that.
Let's let Drawing Aces talk real quick.
Yeah. I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, if we're gonna go over history, let's go over all the history. Yeah, he quit. He came back. He got that free pass. How about when he sold out War Campaign the first time? Remember the Soilum trial? everybody with a war campaign symbol gets banned,
I
gets
remember
blocked.
that. That
And then
started over Geeks and Garglers and Edwin Soyette trying to sabotage war campaign.
And so like, people act like that didn't happen. So he quits the first time after the debate stream. Okay, we all have emotional reactions. I'll give you a free pass on that. He denounces war campaign the first time on live stream. Tells he's gonna block everybody, gonna ban everybody. He wants nothing to do with war campaign. We forgive that eventually. And now the third time, like, how many more chances? How much more? How can I respect somebody who continually disrespects me?
I can
So
see.
if you're gonna talk and bring stuff up, make sure you bring it all up.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I should bring up everything in context. Here's the thing. I'm biased when it comes to war campaign. I only joined CG because war campaign left. I'm going to tell you that right up front. I'm incredibly biased when it comes to war campaign. I found when I first started paying attention to war campaign, I was like, what are they all about? Because I saw them on stream with EVS, and I thought, Vestige is a really badass idea. I really liked it. And I'm hearing on the stream, thank you, Caesar, thank you. But I was like, what the hell is this shit? But then I hear, oh, it's like a Roman Legionnaire cosplay thing. I'm like, all right, whatever. People are weird online. I've done commissions for weirder folk. Okay, yeah. But then I see like all this crazy shit on Twitter. Shit that only SJWs do. And I know I'm probably going to get ousted for this shit after saying all this. But like, when you stoop down to SJW levels, when you refuse to just stay above all of that stuff and you lower yourselves down to that level, I don't have respect for you. I mean, that's me talking. I have a bias against war campaign. Now, that said, since then, I've met a lot of great people. Ghost of Henry being one of the prime examples.
Awesome, dude. Ghost of Henry is a champion.
Excellent artist, excellent all-around person to just talk to about CG stuff. And honestly, there's been even a couple of people. Who's that guy that was on the Scotsman show? Triple R. Fantastic dude. There are great people in war campaign. Those people have changed my mind on war campaign since. But my initial reaction to war campaign was not positive. And when EVS was like, yeah, I'm going to kick war campaign out in favor of keeping a collective of creators, I was thinking, all right, I'm down with that. What I didn't realize was, and I respect Mike Miller. I respect him. But he's done some really fucking stupid things. A lot of... can we agree with that? He's made some really fucking dumb decisions.
Pretty hard to...
so how do you feel about Smiller's plagiarism attempts?
Recently, again, he's making some really fucking stupid business decisions.
Are you talking about the Magnificent Seven?
No, when he jacked from Vinny. When he did Drawn and Quarter and copied one of Vinny's arts, and then the next day he tried to sell the same art on an auction, and it was blocking Vinny from Drawn and Quarter in these auctions, and this was when Vinny was first coming in.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I thought you were talking about like his the Dean Cain Superman character.
No.
I mean,
no,
that is also
worse.
plagiarism, but go ahead.
No, much worse. Literally copied somebody's art and tried selling it on his own auction. Got caught red-handed. Vinny confronted him by going as a fake account.
Yeah, and honestly, where Mike screws up, The one thing I do give him complete respect for is the drawn and quartered show. He's taking winners from drawn and quartered Ultimate Edition and putting them against other pros, and there was a better stable, I would like to add, putting them against each other. So they're getting exposure. That forces you to look at the Ultimate Edition for exposure. It was a good setup, but since Mike split from CG, I'm sorry, there's a lot of customers in CG. Not all customers are CG, but I'm going to say all of CG are customers, even the creators.
Yeah.
So when that happened, I mean, I was devastated, especially with like Malin leaving. I think Malin was the best part of Drawn and Quartered. And that was an excellent system. Yeah, for sure.
Malin was booted out.
Oh, yeah.
And if I can make one point of correction,
Please.
EVS didn't boot War Campaign out of CG. He just booted him from his show. War Campaign
The first time.
Well, no, they're still CG. I mean, they're not.
Oh yeah, they're still very CG.
One guy you can't do that. War Campaign is still CG.
Yeah, they're still CG.
It's up,
and
again, it always comes back to the customers. It's customer choice. It's fan choice.
Right.
You know, that this is what this has always been about and should always be about. And you can't, and this is the thing that has been said over and over about with Mike Miller or anyone else. You didn't have to leave CG. You could have gone and done your own thing in CG. Nobody was telling you had to fucking go. Now, did he have to? Did he endure an insane amount of? You know, there's only so much a guy can take, I suppose. And until you've had to endure it, until you've had that kind of onslaught.
Are you talking about?
No, you don't know how you're going to react. I
Are you
can't
talking
imagine
about
how
Mike?
much. Yeah, of course. Like to become just an ongoing joke. It's now just part of the dialect of ComicsGate, basically. You know, what is that? Do you know what that would feel like if that was you?
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Okay, so like, go ahead.
No, Smeller's the type of person who will go on live streams, go, "How dare you? My son has mental disabilities," and then turn around and insult you with retard jokes. The only reason I bring that up is he did exactly that to me. He tweeted a message to me going, "Are you touched in the head?" And I'm like, "Wow, this is right after you posted videos saying, 'How dare you, CG, for putting my mentally disabled son into this.'"
Right. Was this about when the burning thing happened? Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
God. I don't know.
So,
we've gone so far off of.
I know, but like in a way, it all relates, though. In a way, it all relates because Nick Barrucci.
All relate.
What's up?
That is the one thing, because it all goes. No, I do say it all relates. It all goes back to EVS Dynamite deal. Why War Campaign and other creators and customers were essentially, they tried to kick out. You're right. No one can kick out customers from a customer movement, but it's all tied in together. There's no separating. That's why I was in the chat. I'm going over stuff. You're like, what does that have to do? It all ties in. You can't separate any of it.
Hey man,
you have to look deeper. You really want to have a real conversation about it.
Well, do you feel?
No,
like,
I'm not saying raw, but I'm saying like that's why I'm bringing stuff up in the chat.
Yeah, no, I respect that, and I'm bringing. I brought up everything you had to say. We're trying to engage it. We're sharing.
Yeah, I appreciate
our
that.
thoughts on
That's
it.
why I said, that's why I was
dude,
saying in the chat.
You're welcome.
Because I appreciated that.
Yeah, man, and I'm actually really glad you came on. You know, if there is inconsistencies, I want my record straight.
Yeah, man. Like, in case I mean,
you there?
The thing, like, you know, anytime I'm in the chat, you know,
you cut out a bit, man. Could you repeat the?
I think I'm having some sort of like internet connection issues.
Okay.
You sound okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop out and see if I can pop back in.
Okay.
Okay. Again, thanks for coming on, Drawing Aces. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, EVS dropped War Campaign once, and then Pan got on and said, we're going our own direction. What I will say about War Campaign leaving, I got to give them full props, is that they didn't burn CG out on the way out like Doug and Miller did. You know, I don't. Doug is his own fucking show at this point. I could go on all day about Doug, but like when it comes to Nick Barrucci, like he needs to look at those people, those examples, and go maybe steer clear of that, because at this point going forward, now he's a walking joke.
Well, I don't see Barrucci burning any bridges on his way out.
He didn't. But
he's not capable.
No.
What could he possibly burn? The CG isn't. Again, Dynamite. I don't think most people. There may have been a small percentage, but I don't think most of us saw Dynamite as ComicSgate. We just saw it as a ComicSgate friendly company that was down to like take some heat to work with what is clearly something very exciting in comics right now. They they pushed it too far. They finally got the real heat. I don't think he understood maybe what was really around the corner.
I think many of us
taste
don't.
Of it and had to fold.
Well,
folded up shop.
I think he pushed it as far as he should have pushed it. I think he pushed it exactly to where he should have been pushing things, which is directly advertising ComicsGate related material on
a normal business would agree with you.
Yeah.
We are not in a normal business.
We might not be, but the only way to get it normal is to just do it loud and do it proud. You know,
I agree with you.
If Barrucci should have advertised Cecil, I don't think that was a mistake. The only mistake Barrucci made was a miscalculation as to the value of his I think somebody downgraded it on the chat to C+ list licenses versus future profits. I think that he's now lost out on current and future profits as a result, because CG, as far as I can tell, and this is another interesting question maybe for the future, how many people are actually in CG? Like how many, what is the actual power base of CG customership? And does it represent the whales of comics, or does it represent at least a large majority of comic buyers? And then, how much money are they going to lose in the future, therefore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I almost find it like, to me, it's almost invigorating, because it's when you try to connect, you try to work with CG, you think you can maybe Barrucci all along, maybe Dynamite all along was like, well, maybe we can exploit this thing to our benefit. But you know what happens when you're not up to handling a pure flame, something that isn't bound by any of these rules of mainstream bullshit, and you're not ready. If your house isn't ready for that pure flame, you're gonna burn it down. Mm-hmm. Don't get too close. I almost see it as almost a testament to how pure the CG fire burns. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Dave.
Drawing Aces, what do you think?
Oh, go ahead, Drawing.
Maybe he's not with us.
Could be dealing with lightning storm.
Dave, you've been really quiet for a while.
Well, I'm just taking it all in. I'm because I've only been with ComicsGate for about 4 months
that
now.
makes perfect sense to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
we can hear
you.
you,
mate.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, you hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not prepared to take the pure flame, then you better not get too close. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And like, is someone like EVS, who is just a fucking dude, he's just a man, he's just one guy,
he's just a dude
juggling massive, when even people that have mild success, do you know how many people come at you the moment you start succeeding at anything, especially on the internet, people come at you like mad, rabid fucking dogs. This guy's dealing with shit from all sides all the time. Is he gonna make missteps? Is he gonna misfire? Is he gonna not know who to listen to? Is he like even does he even is he even able to have friends? Like in the normal sense of the word.
No.
When you have $1 million fucking campaign and everybody wants a piece of your ass. Like, is that possible?
No,
When-
I don't know.
it
Yeah,
just
when
puts a
money's
target on your
involved.
back.
Just
Yeah.
fucking understand. Like, but at the end of the day, he said, Dynamite, you fucked up. I'm cutting ties with you. And I watch EVS stomp on SJW head on a fucking weekly basis. He has never fucking wavered on that front. He delivers quality product. Even if he made a mistake with Dynamite and let Dynamite too far into the fucking into his world, at the end of the day, has he not made the fucking decision to cut it away like a cancer? Because Nick Barrucci obviously couldn't get the job done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like,
I-
how
yeah, I
much do you
think-
want from this guy?
I think,
How much
I
do
think
you
the
want from this
difference
man?
the difference is between EVS and like someone like Nick Barrucci is Nick is heavily buried in it. He's got it on all sides of him, whereas EVS is fighting it from the outside. So he's going like face to face with him, whereas Nick has to watch his back, his front, his feet, his bollocks, and his head at the same time because they're coming from him from all directions. I think it's slightly different with.
But once again, those directions would, and I say this as somebody who clearly does, I have no stake in this game, but just as an objective viewer, the stuff he's trying to protect, if it's true, and I think it's pretty true, the fact that he's trying to protect, the idea that he's trying to protect his licenses, is I think really short-sighted. If you look at the decline of Marvel and DC, and all of Dynamite's direct competitors in the sort of independent publisher market, IDW, and I don't think Image is doing that well. I haven't heard anything from Image in
No,
quite
they're
some
not
time.
doing good.
Yeah, it's like you were on the life raft with us, man. Like you. I mean,
Yeah.
it just drives me nuts. It's like, okay, so you lose fucking Vampirella. Who the fuck is Vampirella? I don't give a shit about Vampirella or whomever. Dynamite could have been drawing direct, and Scott Captain Fuckhead made this point, is that there's a huge talent pool in CG, and there's really cool properties there. Why not make a deal with Malin? Why not make a really sweet deal with fucking whomever? I'm brain farting right now, but you see what I mean? It's like they just fucking drop the ball so hard.
Yeah. Brian brings up, there was some resentment about EVS maybe not having new creators on. I don't know how necessarily true that is. I mean, time is so compressed with this internet thing. Time is like warped. It's very warped. Things that happened 2 weeks ago seem like fucking half a year ago. Things are so fast paced. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was that long ago that EVS was pushing the Lucent, Michael Bancroft.
Yeah.
Pushing that hard. I don't think it was that long ago. Now the guy who made that that little stump comic with the cool little stumpy muscular dude.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I don't think
Iron
that
Giant.
guy is. Yeah, I don't think he's CG. I think that person might be a little like, I don't know if I want to really step in this shit. But he was pushing that little comic very recently, and he's bringing on, people might not recognize this because they're more like a little bit more established pros, but he's bringing on new people. But this guy, look at all the shit. And then every time somebody goes bad, he brings in someone and something bad happens, it's his fault. So what? It's like, he's caught in this position of wanting. He wants to help. You can see that he wants to elevate people and push campaigns and help people succeed. And let me remind, not even a little less than a little more than 2 months ago, I was watching an old stream where EVS was still pushing Vestige #1. This was like literally 2 months ago. And it's like he's always pushing campaigns. He's always helping. And the excitement he generates with $1 million campaign, it absolutely helps every campaign beneath it. So I don't know. I just have it's just like, how much do you want from a single man?
Yeah,
Like,
I know,
what do
I
you
know what you're
want
saying.
him to
This is
do?
an example. But
Well,
look at
and-
how people are blaming Donald Trump for the COVID-19 coming in the country. They're like, he didn't stop it fast enough. It's like, yeah, there was an executive order months ago that you fought against him with.
Yep.
No,
Well,
the argument over in the UK is that the Conservatives didn't shut the country down quick enough. So
Of course.
We tried to, but yet all the Democrats were fighting us and claiming we were racist over the executive order that Trump was trying to enact.
Right. And I mean, like, we could get into the politics thing. I'd rather not, just because I've got views.
It's too late
But,
in the game for that.
yeah.
We got to wrap this shit up fairly soon.
Yeah.
Well, I was just using that as a simple example. Sorry.
No, I get it, and I think it is a good example because it shows how one-sided something can become, where
Well,
it becomes so comfortable to attack someone
Yeah.
or to be against someone because whatever reason that everyone just jumps on board, and it's like, is this accurate? What did you want to say, Ryan?
Well, I did think a more recent example is EVS's relationship with Liam Gray of what's his comic?
Xenotype.
Xenotype, and it seemed like everything was pretty square with those two, and they were friendly, and Liam had even petitioned to be EVS's friend after he said no more friends. But not a couple of weeks later, like EVS is getting like tweets and stuff from Liam that to the effect of like I don't know, maybe I didn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed to me that Liam seemed to think that EVS was trying to poach Oz, his artist, and also
Right.
said some other critical things, which was like
it's
kind of
weirdness. He has to deal with this shit all the time.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like what? Well,
And it's like Liam's like, I look at Liam and his behavior, and I'm like, dude, you're kind of giving people a reason not to want you in their inner circles because you seem a little bit. I love Liam, dude. I think he's a great streamer. I think he's entertaining. He's producing a great comic. But holy fuck, he looks he's fucking all over the place, man.
The only selling point to me is Spartan Scotsman and Odie. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck less about his project. If you had anybody else on there, I'd probably pass on it.
Odie's hilarious, by the way. If you
I've
ever
never
listen to
seen
any
him.
of his, he is so fucking funny, and I don't even know if he knows how funny he is. But he's so dry. It's like, it's great. I love it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's an
careful, Liam.
example. Like it's like if with people coming at me like if I was in EVS's place, I'd be so bitter and jaded about people coming to me for help. It's like I wouldn't help anybody, but I'm kind of a dick.
It's a tough position to be in, man, and it's
Yeah, I think
Brian
Bri-
brings it
Brian-
up again, like EVS said he would have me on several times and never did. Now I agree. It's like,
But you wouldn't be the only one.
There seems to be
man.
some
It's-
kind of there's sometimes it feels like there's invisible barriers to certain creators or reasons I don't comprehend or understand. Is it like some prejudgment thing? Like, well, we don't think you're going to be entertaining enough, or you're not going to be well received. Like, I don't know where these judgments happen. I have no idea. I'm not part of it, but it does feel like Brian Christgau has produced Six Gun Gorilla, which is an amazing comic, and delivers it, fulfills it on time, like clockwork. Beautiful fucking content. He's a fucking joy to have on a stream. I'm doing a stream with him Thursdays now, film versus film. The guy's awesome. Why wouldn't Evie? I don't know. I can't speak to that, and it is a bummer. It's a bummer.
Yeah, I think maybe Ethan got a bit, obviously, with all the drama and shit, when he decided not to have loads of creators on his stream, loads of new creators that hadn't fulfilled, I think was the word he used. I think there were a few CG creators that it kind of felt a bit taken back by it, because I think they were just expecting to get on his stream to promote their books. It was like, seemed to be like the done thing at the time. And when he cut them off, I think there was definitely a resentment there. So I think Brian does make a good point with that.
Well, there's that, and also remember, EVS is really, there's thousands of us, and he's just the one dude.
Yeah.
Like he really, like, it's, and there were just 6, but now there are 10 spaces in a live stream. So I could completely imagine how people can kind of fall through the cracks like that. So, you know, I just think you just have to be forgiving and first come to it with the heart of being entertained, and then everything else comes after that.
And he said this before, there's certain books he just doesn't want to promote because he doesn't like them. He doesn't feel them.
Like yours, Brian.
That's fine.
Yeah, as an individual, he can do that. That's the thing. And I think that one of the issues was because EVS is the focal point of CG. Whichever way you look at it, he is the main person. He is like CG. Like, so I think with the rise of people like Dan Frager, before obviously his channel got brought down, it now does give others an opportunity to take some of that pressure off EVS of having to promote everyone all the time.
Yeah, and this is what is meant by grab an oar. You know, don't just watch EVS's shows to find out new creators. Have a new creator. If you're looking to become a creator, start a show, start a platform, promote other people, start building an audience. And let me tell you, like, the amount of comic book, Star Wars channels and whatnot out there in CG, it's oversaturated. You want to create a platform that people will flock to you. You'll get new CG, you'll get new Fandom Menace, you'll get new all sorts of stuff. Create a channel about none of those things.
Right.
Create a channel about game development. Create a channel about drawing.
It's got to be about what you care about, man.
Yeah.
Like, if you
have something
a
that
passion in your
connects.
life that isn't ComicsGate,
Yeah.
Time to replace comic tropes.
like, just get exactly. Whatever your passion might be, it doesn't matter what it is. Do that thing.
There's a
Focus
dude on
that,
Twitter.
and you'll pull in people, and then you can trickle them into ComicsGate from there.
Yeah, there's a dude on Twitter that talks about the censorship right now going on with Sony and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That dude, like, I had to give him a follow. Like, that dude is crazy entertaining. His tweets and whatnot, as soon as he starts a YouTube, I'm subscribing.
Nice.
Okay? And I tell you what, that dude is CG to the core. That dude is CG to the core. As soon as all these video game people, all these gamers are like, man, I'm really sick of all this censorship, man. Like, how come they gotta censor my anime titties, but they'll show a train to get banged on Last of Us 2.
Right. Oh man.
Full man nipple and everything.
Right.
And it's
And
like,
they still don't like to admit that that's a tranny.
oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Or that the guy was based off Neil.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
obviously was, but like, you know,
And that's
but that's what
I
I'm
think-
talking about.
Yeah,
That's
and a
something
lot
that's
more-
interesting.
A lot
People
more
will flock
of-
to that.
a lot more people. We're just people like Brian Kriskow. We got, Vinny, Mystery Drew, Mystery E. Look at all the people that are out there. You got Sim. You got Smiling Bandito is really working hard. You got Red Valkyrie Shay.
Oh man,
There are
go
so
subscribe
many
to her if you
people.
haven't.
Yes, dude, we're building. It takes time. Building YouTube platforms takes time, but we're building that network slowly but surely, it's getting stronger. We're all supporting each other. I think we need to work together more often and in more innovative ways. As
Right.
creators, we need to start really banding together and helping each
Yeah.
other grow.
Well,
So we
look at
don't have to
CGUK.
be. We don't. Yeah,
Oh, no
CGUK is a
You got
beautiful
Pat, Tommy
example.
Mark, Charlie's London. You got Yan doing drink reviews. You got Stato and Wooly who have now started their movie
Rocking it.
streams like every 2 weeks. I think it is on Thursday, something like that. It's just so much good shit.
Don't need to be reliant on the biggest players. We're building it up underneath that, and eventually, every once in a while, the big player's going to be like, "Oh, what's going on over there?" Boom, you get an explosion. Boom, you get an explosion. That's how all we should look at it as is like if we're consistent and keep building our own shit, they're going to give us those little surges. I've gotten some surges. This channel, a couple of things I've done has gotten the attention of EVS or whoever, and I've gotten some subscriber explosions from that. And it's like, cool. That's how you do it. Feed into it. We all feed into each other. We're building it. CG isn't dead. I reject that notion so wholeheartedly. I can't say enough. And I hope Drawing Aces didn't leave because he got...
No, he was having connection problems.
I think it was a connection thing. And Drawing Aces, you're totally welcome. I respect everything that you're dropping on us, man. It's not... I'm totally down to have these discussions. I have no problem with it whatsoever.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to continue our conversation, Drawing Aces, hit me up on Twitter. I'm more than happy to listen to what you have to say. You know, I think I spent, like 2 nights ago, I swear to God, I think I spent 6 hours on Twitter debating a Testify alt. I swear to God I did. Like, I'll never do it again, but you know, I'm not ignorant. I'll listen to what you have to say. And, you know, I'm man enough to admit when I'm wrong. Right. So, yeah, please, by all means, you know, hit me up.
Yeah.
That's a really nice ad in the corner, by the way.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and show this real quick. This is Comic Book Black Belt, Russ Leach. He won the elevator pitch contest on Friday. I'm gonna show that pitch real quick. This is the winning pitch. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Sold 8.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Only Death Can Save Us is a Bronze Age-inspired cosmic fantasy romp bringing together action and pathos as the ancient elemental known as Death leaps from his ethereal retirement to help a young soul protect her loved ones, her world, and even existence itself. The story firmly plants itself in the all-ages readership audience with the art and story by Doctor Who and Marvel artist Russ Leach in a tale that is in many ways a love letter to the way comics used to be.
Boom. Yeah. So he utilized every single second of the pitch, showed some wonderful art, really had it down. Obviously had been practicing. He was the first pitch and the best pitch of the whole show. And as one of the rewards, he's gonna have this banner and this promotional stuff going on this show for a full 10 episodes. The link to Only Death Can Save Us email sign up is down below, as well as the YouTube channel. So give it a look. This guy is he's been on the show several times. He's a super level-headed, sharp guy. He has a lot of good things to say. Great creator. Again, he's one of the up. He's on the up and up. He's gonna be a superstar for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that stream you did with like all the creators, that was really good. One thing I would say, though, a few of them started running over their 30-second time limit.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I found a little thing to help you.
Take it too serious.
30 seconds runs out.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
I thought,
I had the little timer, but I like the buzzer much better. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. We're gonna do it again. I think I might do it. I'm debating on whether every 2 weeks or every month.
Make it every month. Give people a chance to really study up, get their stuff in order, and get their in case they're trying to build a campaign, give them a chance to get all their assets in order.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I felt like
Yeah.
once a month was like, gives people time to get ready, really promote the thing, and then we'll give, you're gonna get promoted on this show a whole bunch as a prize, and also I sent.
He sent out some comics.
He's gonna be getting the entire 4-issue set of Runes of Ragnan.
No, that was sick.
So yeah.
Rotten, I didn't know you wrote comics.
I did back in the day. This was back, dude. I sweat blood for comics back in the day. It didn't
back when you were a Backstreet Boy.
I did exactly, and I didn't make a single dime off it. But dude, that passion never left. I love the medium. I had to move on and like survive, but ComicsGate brought me back to the fold. I'm super happy about it.
Glad you're here, man.
Yeah.
What have you thought about? I mean, I'm going on a different topic, but have you thought about getting all those issues and putting together a trade for ComicsGate itself, like a CG edition of that?
It's something. You know how it is as a creator when you produce something. This is we're talking like 17, 18 years ago. Like when you're looking at something you did that long ago, you've gone through all these evolutions as a person, and I look at it now and I'm like, I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of what we achieved on that book, but it's not me now. I want to put out new
that's
shit.
fair.
I'm working on it with InkSpots. We're gonna launch our email sign up soon. He's producing great material. I'm really happy with the art. We're gonna do some great shit. That's all.
I can't wait.
I was 10 when you launched that book.
Holy shit.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, dude.
Jesus.
Exactly.
I don't even know if I could read it.
I've been doing this a long time, and see the thing, I didn't lead with that because, it's just I want to earn that shit. I want to be a part of ComicsGate. I want to contribute to it, build the platform,
Hell yeah, dude.
Promote fucking people. That's what I've been doing, and just do it right. Be patient. Work at it, man. That's what this is about.
Man, that reminds me.
Isn't dead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the thing is that comic is a resume for you. At least it's just something so people can know you do have experience.
Yeah, I get that. That's why I'm putting it out there now, and I'm kind of saying, look, it's not like I just decided. I woke up yesterday and said I want to make a comic. I'm not Cecil, for fuck's sake.
Well, he didn't even want to. EBS put him in a corner.
No, this is something I've wanted to do. I've had a passion for a long time. So,
that reminds me, in that 6-hour debate with Testify, he challenged me to make a comic book or a graphic novel and successfully fund it without EVS's help.
Oh. Okay.
Now,
and what was your answer to that challenge?
Well, I asked him to clarify the meaning of success. What is the goalpost I should shoot for?
Yeah.
To which he said, Richard Meyer said 10 grand. And I said 10 grand in funding or 10 grand in profit. He never said anything other than that. So, chat, if you would, what should that interpretation be? Because I want to take this.
If you're talking about funding a book and getting it all your expenses covered to fulfill and deliver a quality printed book to people, that's a lot less than 10 grand, man. If you're talking about making a profit, you can make a profit at 10 grand. Look at Narwhal's early campaigns.
Oh, yeah.
He made decent money on Earthbound initially.
Love you, Ryan. You're
doesn't.
an idiot.
It's if you're the one producing the work, if you're not paying a bunch of other people to do everything, you can. Dude, printing a book is like. It depends on how many copies you do and the numbers. It's a game with the numbers, but it's like $1,000 to $2,000 for printing, and then the shipping cost is included in the.
I understand that, and what the true contest that he and I were arguing is marketing. He's saying that you shouldn't need YouTube to fund a book.
What?
Oh, he's going back doing the Smiller thing.
Yeah,
See,
I mean, he's a fucking moron, but I want to show
I'm
him.
not saying you
like,
should need YouTube, but
well,
it fucking
in a
helps.
way, we
Why-
kind of
why-
do.
Why would you not use everything at your disposal though to do
Thank
as well
you.
as you can? Like
Thank
that,
you.
it just doesn't make sense. If you're actually trying to get money and fund something, you would do everything possible, unless you're an SJW and you just want to be there to spread an
You
agenda.
realize that
Like,
guy's just a troll and agitator.
Yeah,
at this
exactly.
Oh yeah, and I mean his arguments were everything that he said on here or on EVS's channel. That was how he was speaking that night, and I whittled him down, and it's like, so what you're angry about is the semantics between CG and creators. And I mean, like, you can look it up. It's kind of a boring thing unless you're into autism. But like,
I'm really into it.
yeah, go check out my timeline then. Take a look at
too into
he and
it.
I fighting. Yeah, I think he's Ultras something. It's probably
He's
Latin
got
for moron.
back plates of pity. Pity is probably the magnetic field out in Nevada from his back plates of pity.
Yeah. It
There's
just
probably something spiking out of his
Well,
asshole.
I
when he's
wouldn't,
taking a shit.
dude. Mets, I wouldn't. Obviously, a challenge from Testify isn't a proper motive. If you have the passion and want to create,
it's gonna
something,
happen anyway. But like, I want to
just
show
fucking
him.
do it. Of
Yeah, I'm
course,
gonna
man.
do it, but I want to stop his little ideology to dust while I do it.
Well, then 10,000
Ooh,
is
I
your
like-
evil to defeat.
I like it then. Then that's your evil.
Yeah,
See,
Let's
for
do
me,
it.
I think
You
it's
know whose support you're gonna have? This guy.
thanks, man.
You're.
For sure.
He was on about. You said he was on about like success of a book. Like, so for me, especially a first issue from an unknown creator, I would say success is you fully cover all your costs. That means paying your artist, your writer, whoever, depending on who you are, of course. And then you make enough that you're able to do the second issue. For me, that's a success because you're starting the marketing of your first issue, you've covered it, and you launch it onto your second one.
That's how we did it in film.
That's
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's it. You get your name out there. People know you. Your second one does better. You perhaps put in a tier where you can get the first issue and the second issue, like with some of these more successful campaigns have done.
Yep.
And you go from there. That's.
Yep.
It's coming from someone who's never created, by the way. So.
Well, no, that's just good business. I mean, like that's the thing is like you don't need to be Einstein to run a successful business. You know, like
Einstein married his cousin
obviously
anyways.
has it right.
He wasn't that smart.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
second cousin,
we're-
third cousin?
Most of us have
First
learned
cousin.
Oh, first cousin. Oh, those baby got web feet.
what?
Underage too, so of course he manipulated her.
I can't do the
Oh God,
I can't do the Nurkish throw up sound, but if I
that's
could,
enough of
that's
that.
no kidding.
No, I can't. I have to. I gotta. This has gone way longer.
All right,
than
yeah.
usual
Oh, it was a
Midday
pleasure
Rep,
coming
which
on,
is
guys.
fun. No, it's fun. I was having a good time, and but I've got so much design work I gotta get.
Yeah,
to.
I got to get to work as well. I've got this ash can I got to finish up. Then I could go stop on Testify.
Yes, I want to thank my panel for being here.
Thank you for the
please
invite.
Support Only Death Can Save Us. OnlyDeathCanSaveUs.com is probably your easiest way to get there. Anybody else want to shout out some shit while we're here?
Follow me on Twitter, Custodian Dave, as it says. Wait,
All right.
there.
Check out, make sure that you go to Indiegogo and check out a publisher that is fully willing and able to support CG. Back the Mighty Mascots from Alterna Comics, and they have a whole bunch of good tiers there. And the least expensive and greatest value I see right here is a 100-page comic book for $10. So 100
Jeez.
pages of comic for $10. I think that's a pretty
Damn.
good deal.
Nice.
You got that cereal box as well. That thing looks so.
Nice. Gargoyle, Mets, you got anything you want to shout?
Oh, Testify. You named your last brain cell after me. I'm honored.
All right. Well, I want to thank the chat for being here, participating. damn, just so much great contribution from the chat today. Really aided and lent to the conversation. Drawing Aces, thanks for popping in. I know you had some tech issues. I'd love to have you in again. And yeah, we will see you tomorrow. And I think that's all I have. Tomorrow,
Hail CG.
My balls burn.
there's a new
Hail CG.
a new project from SK is in email sign up I think mode right now.
Yes.
Does anyone know what that is? That transhuman? What is that called?
Yeah, transhuman. It looks really
Transhuman.
cool, actually. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
discussing it with him. Like
So
futuristic.
Yeah, he's gonna, and that's the guy who did Terra Olympus project. Very good stuff. SK's gonna be on the show tomorrow after the discussion. So be sure to check that out, and we will see you tomorrow.